lovely spring day in Minnesota.
It's beautiful outside. We're in flip-flops right now.
Yeah. Well, today I think we're going to talk about something we haven't talked about since the beginning of our podcast, and that is music.
Yeah.
And the music to our show even. So I'd like to introduce the one, the only. Go ahead, sir.
I'm Oni Sakti.
He's very enthusiastic about it.
I'm mellow.
So thank you so much for providing us with the music. We've been using it from day one.
Anytime. Thank you.
Yeah. Rahana will get you started with a few questions.
Yeah.
Here.
So, Oni, we are going to start off with some non-film and composing questions. One simple one. What is one food that you could never, will never, ever give up?
Either rice or yellow curry. Just eat a lot of both. Probably maybe too much.
You can never have too much, I don't think. Those are so good. All right. So what is one source of procrastination for you? I love that Alan laughs every time I say that.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Probably getting distracted on which project to work on, and then taking on a few too many projects and then finding other projects to do instead.
So you're just too busy on purpose. Okay.
A little too often.
It's true.
Okay. So what is one talent, be it a random, fun, silly talent that you have that others may or may not know about?
One that really freaks people out is talking with two voices at the same time.
Sorry, what?
Like two voices at the same time, like going like, hello? That's
awesome.
I really wish everyone could have just seen my face. Okay, do that again. What?
Hello, how are you? Like that freaks everyone out.
Yeah, like how?
I'll do that at work and people just kind of just freeze in place. I learned it when I had way too much time on my hands as a kid.
Is that why you try and keep busy now?
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That is very interesting.
Yeah, it came in handy when I was a receptionist at a job, and I'd just answer phones like that sometimes and people would just hang up.
Which is always the goal in that situation.
My goal.
In that situation. That's awesome. Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right.
Sorry.
No. Oh, God. Why would you ever be sorry
apologize.
for that? How dare you have a talent?
I'll leave now.
Rude. So, Oni, what did end up getting you started in composing?
I was into music when I was young and just like piano lessons and violin, and then rebellious teen years and doing like rock music, which I regret. But kind of just eventually moved into doing more electronic and orchestral music, and probably started recording way too much. And liked doing a lot of different types of music, but then with the idea of film score was just something that was a good transition for me, I think. And with a lot of the stuff that I would create, it just fit well and just seemed like a natural transition to make.
Mm-hmm. So what was your words? Sorry. What was your first film score that you ever composed and when?
The first one was probably way back in 2004, which I actually forgot about for quite a while. It was this woman in Ireland that contacted me from hearing some of my other music and asked about she was working on a short film and asked me about doing the music for it, and I said yeah, and just kind of played around with a lot of different sounds and finding the right sounds to work from to build around it, and came out pretty good. I haven't seen it in a long time myself. Sadly, don't actually have a copy of it, but it was definitely a fun experience.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That's a really interesting way to really get into that. Yeah.
What was the film about?
It was very It was kind of like season 3 of Twin Peaks, where you're not really quite sure what's going on.
I just got done
just
telling
talking
her
about
about this. Yeah.
It's like a mini version of episode 8 of season 3 of Twin Peaks.
Oh.
With the bomb and
Oh,
all
God.
that.
I mean, that's great. Tell me more.
Interesting, Alan.
Well, I'm assuming without the bomb, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think, how long have you been composing, I think, now, roughly, would you say?
For film or in general?
In general.
In general, yeah.
Oh, God. In general, like, probably in a more serious way, about 20 years now. Just really took off in 99 doing a lot of music and kind of kept going, took about 6 years off and then started up again in 2007 and just been kind of going crazy since then.
Yeah.
I think it's like since 2007 it's been over, I think, about 120 albums
Wow.
that I've recorded since then.
So do you prefer doing your own projects and albums like that, or working like with film and maybe TV or something like that? Like, do you prefer doing your own thing or working collaboratively with another project?
I don't really have a preference. I like both. It's like working my own thing. I can just do whatever I want, and it's kind of free reign. But then the idea of composing for a film, it's like I have to fit something to the film instead of just doing what I want. So it's much more interesting, and I have to find really weird and strange creative ways to do things. It's definitely fun.
So who's your favorite composer?
Awkward silence.
Who's your favorite composer? Like, who inspires you?
For film stuff, probably I'm probably gonna butcher his first name. Wojciech Kilar is a Polish composer. He did the music for Bram Stoker's Dracula and Portrait of a Lady. It's just very orchestral, kind of darker, but there's like a lot of like romantic feeling to the music too. And actually also did the music for the Ninth Gate too.
Oh wow.
So it's cross between him and Matt Quayle, who did like the music for like Mr. Robot and the last like 4 or 5 seasons of American Horror Story.
Nice.
Wow. Cool. What about their music really draws you to them?
Like with Matt Quayle stuff, it's very he gets very abstract and strange with the music, just very like non-traditional, and uses strange sounds, and like it's something I can relate a lot to just from playing around with a lot of very strange things to make music. So it's just very relatable.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about the composing process, and why?
What's so funny all the time?
I feel like every time I talk, Alan's just gonna laugh. What is happening? Stop laughing at me.
No, it's all him.
Oh,
I'm just faint with anticipation.
Okay, what was the question again?
Sorry,
I got distracted from Alan's laughing.
Yeah,
at me.
thanks, Alan. What's your favorite part of the composing process?
Probably just like the unknown and just not even sure where I'm going with things, and just happy accidents, as Bob Ross would say. And just but just like finding sounds that would fit and then just building off of that, and just sitting on something, letting it ferment for a while, and then going back to it and having a field day with it. It's like with with Mary that I scored for Alan. He sent it to me, and I did like a bunch of just little snippets of stuff and sent it to him, and then he picked one, and like I remember he like wrote me a few times being like, how's it going? And I'm like, it's going okay, and I hadn't actually done anything yet. And it wasn't until about like 2 days before I just sat down and just came up with everything like really quick, and it just kind of flowed and worked out well, I think.
So for people who maybe don't know, like myself, what is your process for composing? Like, is everything digital? Do you play different instruments? Do you play all instruments and then record those and then digitally put them together? Like what's your process?
It varies. Like most of the time I'm actually like sitting at my keyboard actually playing everything, and then we'll go back and fix things and fix the timing on everything and line everything up right. But it's a lot of it. The fun part about it was like working with Alan repeatedly. Everything was done me playing, but then like digital, but then it was all like orchestral instruments and organic sounding instruments that I was just manipulating through my keyboard and computer and such.
Okay.
So it sounds like like a cello and different things, but it's actually just keyboard.
That's really cool.
But then eventually, I don't know if you should talk about this now or after, with the chaos of making the music for Electric Dreams Addiction.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, go for it.
Excuse me. With that, I had done pretty much like digital creating of organic sounding music. So with that, I did something different and just used only human voice to make all the music and
Oh, really?
turn like syllables into like drum sounds and different stuff done with voice into synth sounds and bass sounds and stuff. So the process just gets kind of strange at times.
But very interesting.
It's
The process gets strange at certain times.
a lot of times.
Tell us about strange.
I don't know. I probably spent a good like 200 hours. What's so funny? Spent a good like 200 hours just editing to make sounds before actually playing the music. Just
Like, what do you mean?
like
Editing sounds before you made the music?
yeah, like just taking like Hitomi did all the vocal stuff for the music for Electric Addiction. I just would take like a symbol of her just saying like P, and like distort it and stretch it out, condense it, affect it, and just making a drum sound, and then do about 30-40 different drum sounds and cymbal sounds and bass sounds and synth sounds. So it was a process of making all the sounds first and then actually coming up with the music after.
Very cool.
It's a pain, but it was fun.
Yeah, I remember it took you like several months, as I recall, because it was years before production because we were writing for so long and trying to figure out how to do this the way we were going to do it. So yeah,
It was a fun, strange process.
yeah, it's been a
Strange is good.
long, strange road. What did they say in your books? What is that? It's been a long, strange, whatever. No
I
one's
have no
had a
idea
year-
what you're talking
You've never
about.
had a yearbook 6. Okay.
That was so long ago for me, I don't even remember.
Well, isn't it like it's been a long, strange something, high school, all that? No. I'm okay. No. I thought
We've
that
been
was
out of high school
I
way
thought that
too
was a
long to
common
remember that
thing.
stuff. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay.
We're old. Thanks for rubbing it in, Alan.
Okay. We've just lost all our high school students that were listening.
They're like, we don't write that.
Officially, we're
What?
done with this podcast.
So, Oni,
yeah.
have you progressed in your career as you maybe expected, whether when you first started or even more, throughout the process?
I really haven't had any expectations. Just I like making stuff.
Yeah.
I have to be making either music or art, or I go a little crazy and grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
So just there's been like more people asking me to do different music, so it's been fun. I don't have any real expectations. So it just where it goes, it goes. I just jump along with it.
All right.
Okay. You want me to ask that question? Okay. All right. So, of the films you've composed in the past, What have been your favorites?
I would have to say Electric Addiction, just because of the backwardness of it, of just doing the music first and then the process of making the music
Yeah.
was very unusual.
It's kind of like making a music video, but not really, you know.
Yeah.
But it was also like there's going to be a story around this, you know. So, but you don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was fun because especially with everything else I've ever sent you being kind of like more mellow and orchestral, and then you just being like, oh, you do the music first, and I was like kind of like laughing. I'm just like, I'm gonna make this difficult and just do like all electronic sounding music, like upbeat and dancey, abstract and ambient, and just having a lot of weird stuff in there, which I won't tell you about until way after.
Yeah, well, that explains a lot. So for the writer's room, why it took, months and months to work it out.
Yeah, just come up with, I think I gave you I think it was close to 3 hours of music altogether in the end.
Pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a fun time.
Well, I think, yes. Maybe for you, I like it. I think, thinking back to our first project, I think it was Superpower.
Yeah.
Was that the one? Okay.
We hadn't even met at that point.
No, I don't think we had it. Well,
When was that?
Wait a minute. I can't remember.
And we didn't meet in person until I think at least a year later.
It wasn't that long, was it? I don't think it was that long. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I think that was
I showed up to one
2013.
concert. One of your shows, rather.
Oh,
I think it was at Hell's Kitchen or something.
I apologize now.
But yeah. So you were. How many albums have you produced since then? I think that was 2005. I want to say.
Oh no, I haven't even been here that long. I think that was
No,
that was
wait,
2012.
No, 2012. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
God, how many albums have I done since then?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. There's about 10 different music projects that I do, and then the solo stuff, so it's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
Do you work kind of specifically here in Minnesota now, or do you still if people reach out to you from somewhere else in the U.S. or internationally, you still work that way, or does most of your work reside here?
Most of it's here, but then I'll collaborate with other people from other areas, and one of my music projects that I was in a few years back, it was this industrial band, and everyone else was in Texas, and I was here, and we just bounced stuff back and forth, and collaborated with people in England, and
oh wow,
even a couple people in Italy and Germany. So
That's cool.
It's fun at times, and internet makes things a lot easier. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you prefer? Not going to word it that way. What do you like about working here in Minnesota?
No, there's a good, at least for the film community, there's a good amount of stuff always going on. So it's even if I don't work with anyone or don't have anything going on, still going out and seeing local films and stuff. It's been really cool. But there's definitely been some good people to collaborate with, and some
and then there's Alan,
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had Ira Livingston on in January, and he talked all about the various competitions and festivals. They apparently have meetings to figure out how to keep it kind of spread out now. So it was very interesting to hear him talk about that. So do you find that if you wanted to, you could maybe compose for things all year round, or other than your own stuff, that is?
I easily could if someone wanted to have me on as their team and stuff. I could definitely do that. Like I'm the type of person that I could record every day and be happy and not get burnt out. So
That's good. So how do you keep from getting burnt out besides that?
pretty much like if I'm not recording, I'm painting. So it's usually go back and forth from one to the other. Or if I get a little too crazy with music, I'll just stop and go paint for a while. And then when my wrist is acting up and I can't really paint anymore, I'll make music instead.
Oh.
How does your music, like your personal music, compare to your film score process? Like, are they still pretty similar or are they vastly different?
Excuse me. They're very different, I think. Mm-hmm. This, like with my own music, I'll just come up with like a beat or just like some background and just build off of that and change things around. And like pretty much I'll endlessly like edit and rearrange music and lengths and stuff, where with like composing for a film, I have to fit everything nicely into a certain mood that's already been established. So it's a very different way of creating for me, which I find fun, and just the control of it, where I'm pretty much like not free to do what I want, is interesting for me.
And do you enjoy that challenge of having to, really find that mood and make something fit?
Definitely, yeah. It keeps me kind of like almost surprised as to like what will happen, and because like half the time I don't even know what I'm going to do exactly. It just kind of eventually comes on its own.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And then you said that you perform too?
Yeah. Once, like I used to play live a lot, but I haven't. Not so much recently. I'm still looking for a singer for one project to start playing live again, but I have like a few solo projects that I'll play live, and it's kind of like psychedelic, dancey, trancey type music that
you could play in a club.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oni's gonna be tearing the roof off on that one.
I hope not. I'm such a background person that like to play. I don't like playing live solo because I don't want, like, it's just me up there and I'm like, don't look at me.
That's why you need a curtain
and a singer
and some dry ice and then a projector.
There you go.
There's a couple like live videos that when people actually see will laugh with Carla. In that time period, there's one song where I don't come into it for like a minute and a half. So like you see Carla, and then like there'd be Allison on the stage, and then be my setup, and you won't see me there. And then when my part comes in, you just see me like standing up from hiding behind things and start playing.
So you're squatting down behind a box or something the whole time.
It's like behind my keyboards and effects, just hiding until it's my time.
Such showmanship. Yeah. Well, what maybe film scores have been the most inspiring, influential to you at this point? But also, like, I mean, other than like big films, but maybe locally, have you heard around here also other composers, or? You have a mixed hat to choose from. So.
Probably from like major films, Blade Runner has been like a ridiculous inspiration for me, like musically, and to the point where I've been recording my own versions of a bunch of the songs and playing some live every once in a while. And then actually with Hans Zimmer and his music for Interstellar.
Yep.
So good.
And then just actually like I've recorded like a couple versions of some of his songs too, actually, and
The Dark Knight.
And just even like seeing how like with doing like Vangelis' stuff and a couple of Hans Zimmer songs, just seeing how they construct songs and the way that they play and stuff too, and like their like little signatures in the music has been interesting too. And I think it's like made me like adjust almost like how I play, and will come up with stuff too.
Right. So that's interesting. So kind of like you said, signature things. Do you have certain signature things you put into yours?
There's very hidden background things that not many people usually notice.
Sure.
Like there was
I
actually
probably
that.
don't even notice it.
Yeah, there was that one review for.
Details?
Details that
Yeah.
someone was saying how like there was a really loud, low sound that most people couldn't hear except for young kids.
Yeah, right. I remember
That freaked
that.
them out. Just
I
putting
was
little
like,
hidden things in there like that.
Who heard that? I was like, I must be deaf to that because.
It's a really low sound that's like when you get over a certain age, you just can't hear it. But you can,
That's
like, if it's loud enough, you can actually like feel it almost.
Right.
It's like just working with kind of like almost like infrasound structures within the music too.
So can you hear it?
No, but I can see it when I'm working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
So, is there something that you want to do now more than ever? Now that you're at this point in your career?
I want to dance. God.
Okay.
I'd probably just like cross between like probably two things, like just finding a good singer that can probably kind of like keep up with me with some stuff, and that, and collaborating with a choreographer
Mm-hmm.
and just doing music for dance performance and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
which
That'd
I've
be
done
really
like a
interesting.
short piece for, but I'm like, I'd like to do something a lot longer and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And just those two, and keep working on film stuff. Maybe with Alan too.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see how the last one goes. I'm just kidding.
It'll all be beatboxing.
Yeah. So you want to dance? Is it the hustle or the Macarena?
I do
Or-
like playing the hustle at work because people
Yeah.
come in my office looking very confused at me.
You play it at work?
Yes.
Okay. How loud? At a reasonable
not?
volume?
Well, I can hear it outside of my office if they're close by, but
Yeah. As long as you keep it at a reasonable volume, it's okay. It's an Office Space reference, so. Well, I guess when it comes to other like music, just in general, have there? Because we've had a long 2018 of. Well, it's been a few years now. We've just been losing a lot of musicians lately.
yeah, it's
Anything you want to talk about there, just in general for certain artists, or
they need to stop dying.
yeah,
That'd be great.
Like Bowie was one of the weirdest just to go. I didn't
Mhm.
like that, and a lot of his like mid '70s stuff was a big influence on me too, like musically.
Hmm.
I was just, I don't know, it's just been weird the last couple of years with people dropping like crazy.
Yeah, and like things like even just a lot of. I don't know. It's a strange culture because music in general, like the movie industry, the music industry is way worse. I hear.
Yeah.
And that's. I want to say it's partially because of the internet, but at the same time, that's not to blame either because everyone can access music now easier. But what do you feel about like the state of music in general?
Yeah. No, it's a weird. I think it's at a weird kind of like time where it's like it's so accessible that you can pretty much like you can do anything that you want musically and get it out there really easy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like almost like there's an oversaturation of everything. So it just something good can get buried very easily out there. But it's seeing a lot more creativity being out there. Like this, you can find stuff on like SoundCloud and Bandcamp and all different places.
Mm-hmm.
Just the amount that you can get out there that's just not the usual type of stuff that would be marketed and radio friendly has been nice to see.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of movies made about musicians, like Bohemian Rhapsody and Straight Outta Compton. So it's just been an interesting time to see like those markers being set up for movies about music.
There's been a lot going on, and then there's more coming out soon. Like I just saw that there's going to be a biopic on Vanilla Ice.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
But yeah, like, but who asked for that? Like,
Vanilla
what?
Ice.
Right? Yeah.
Is that a TV
Seriously.
movie of the week? That's
Hallmark movie, Lifetime movie, Lifetime.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. That's what.
They'll buy anything.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like Ilea was like a TV movie. I remember that one. Well, I remember hearing about it at least. And then I heard rumors about a Prince movie being in the works too.
That would be amazing, but I feel like they need to be really careful with that.
Yeah.
Mainly locally, but yeah.
But that's
Like-
the thing with Prince. It was all about the music and less about like Warner Brothers that
Right.
basically owned him at the time and all his hits, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's odd because the whole reason Prince stayed in Minnesota is to get away from the industry. So it was kind of interesting, I don't know, to see how it's shifting back now that he's gone.
It's I hate to say it, and I'm not from Minnesota, so don't get mad at me. But I don't know. Like I know Prince's music, some stuff, but I don't know all that much about him.
Batman was the one movie that he scored for sure. The Tim Burton one.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. Fascinating. I'm also not from Minnesota, so I'm gonna claim that right now. That's really interesting, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
Okay.
where are you from?
Boston.
Okay.
Still have the attitude. Doesn't always mix well here.
Yeah.
The accent comes out still.
How's the mixing
Can you just
going?
do it?
The accent?
Yeah.
It happens and then
Say
it's all
park
Just does.
the car.
park the car.
There we go.
Or like as my friend likes to say, the difference between beige pants and khakis.
There you
Maybe
go.
car keys or
Yep. Sorry,
So-
Alan. I interrupted you asking a question by
No,
making
go
him
ahead.
do an impression. Or not an impression, but doing his accent. So.
But yeah, so you're from Boston. How long were you in Boston before you came here?
forever. Except for a few years. Pretty much I grew up there, lived there, and then 99 went to New York City for a while, and
New
a
York
lot of
City.
chaos there.
What made you decide to move to Minnesota? Of
Yeah.
all places.
A woman. Like when I moved back to
Aw.
Boston. Oh no, not.
Oh. Women.
Well,
The
part of it
worst.
was, I'd say half of it was to come out here with someone, and half of it was to run very far away from someone else.
Okay. Yeah.
That was completely insane.
All right.
And no one in
That
their
makes
right
sense.
mind would come to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Well, for the first year, she thought I moved back to New York City, so
Oh,
Well, there you go.
it was safer that way.
okay. How long were you in New York City?
About a year.
Oh, okay.
Did you like it there?
Yes, it was. I miss it, but at the same time, I don't drink at all. I didn't drink before. As soon as I moved to New York City, I took up drinking.
Interesting.
And within a year, got the very beginning stages of liver damage
Oh, no.
from the amount of drinking I was doing.
Yeah.
So it was that chemotherapy and a lot of chaos going on. So
I remember that time a little bit, maybe. Maybe it was the tail end of that.
oh, you remember like another round of the
Oh,
fun
was
that
it?
happened? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember when we were filming Mary that you had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Yeah. But I think, do you find it, obviously New York's very social, so there's obviously a lot of drinking and smoking and whatever, you know. But did you find like that music and film did you ever cross into film out there with music, or was it?
I wasn't trying to do music I was doing a lot of other music projects, so I didn't try getting into like film score stuff at that point.
Okay.
Like I collaborated with someone for like a dance performance type thing, but
right.
I
bet you run into a lot of different types of artists out there, not just obviously just music and movies type of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like visual arts, performing arts, and just
oh yeah, the theater, yeah, I bet. Okay. Whereas here, how does that compare? Because we have the largest per capita, but then again, our population isn't that big, but we have more theaters here comparatively based on population. How does that compare to like New York? How have you noticed maybe?
I think that's both like very different scenes between like the East Coast and here. It's a very like tight knit community here,
mm-hmm.
and it's like for an outsider, it's hard to get into and kind of like be accepted into it.
For here?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Or like back out east, it's just people are just like welcome you in and kind of like guide you along and give you crap along the way and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good stuff going on here, which has been definitely interesting with both like theater and film, and even with like music and everything else. There's a lot going on. It just like for an outsider, it's just difficult to get into it.
Yeah. Have you ever considered moving to other bigger cities too, like Chicago, LA, any of those? New York again?
I think when the time comes, it will be New York again.
Mm-hmm.
Just definitely a lot calmer this time. And no troublemaking.
Right.
So, Oni, what is next for you?
Oh, God. I have a lot of different music projects that I'm working on. Like getting like electronic like dancier stuff, and then pretty much like taking like a lot of like classical composer stuff and reworking them and doing them in very strange ways.
Mm-hmm.
That and a couple more film score projects, ambient stuff. There's the usual recording like 20 albums a year and
wow,
keeping busy.
Yeah, that sounds very busy. Where can people find your work, or where can they contact you if they want to work with you?
I have a website that's out of date that I'm updating now. It's this is my name, like onisakti.net, and there's artwork section and then the music section, and I made the mistake of making it so with the music section that you can go through and see every album and stuff, and it's kind of a mess because it's like way too many albums, but kind of simplifying it now.
So Oni, what streaming platform do you prefer?
Oh God. I'm back and forth between Netflix and Amazon a lot. But more recently Amazon, I think.
Yeah. Amazon's got a wider net, I think. Netflix kind of sticks to themselves.
Yeah.
And the big hits that everyone sees. Occasionally they'll reach out further with stuff. Obviously their own original content, but you get a lot of international and even our local films on Amazon. So, do you have any projects on Amazon?
I believe so. There's let's see, I think Details is still on there, and The Strike.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if Distortion is on there yet or not. Nope.
No. And Mary. Yeah.
I have to watch those again.
Yeah.
Watch them every day and get you some more money.
Do you have any go-to like shows or films that you can watch repeatedly or that you love? Your favorites?
Films, probably Orpheus by Jean Cocteau. Like that's one I could just watch a couple times a week and be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
And Bram Stoker's Dracula from Coppola, just pretty much like it's him using Jean Cocteau's techniques the entire time. So it's I like that a lot. Pretty much those two, and of course Blade Runner, because I'm a giant geek.
It's so good though. Did you like the second one?
Yes, I
Yeah.
was really worried about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I saw it, I'm just like, okay, this is way better than I thought.
Yeah, quite good.
Yeah, and they maintain the illusion. I mean, Atari, come on. It's like, really?
Hey, Atari's coming back.
Yeah, I guess. But it was like, I remember seeing something and saying that it was like as if social media didn't exist. It didn't rise, for instance.
Yeah,
I
there's
think-
nothing in the movie about
Yeah,
social media at all.
it was like if gaming rose, but not that. The internet, so to speak, I guess, in some ways.
Would have been a nice world.
Yeah, would have been interesting.
We don't have. It's 2019 now, which is the year that Blade Runner happens, but we don't have flying cars.
Just so disappointing.
Instead, we have kids eating Tide Pods.
Yeah. They're our future, our kids.
You know, I was using total side note. I was doing laundry yesterday, and we use Tide Pods, and I was like, these smell really good. And I was like, what would cause a human being? I was trying to like figure out and analyze what would cause a human being who's roughly between, say, I don't know how old these kids are that are doing this, between 5 and 10, because I hate to think of the idea of someone that's older than 10 doing this on purpose. And I was like, what would cause them to eat this? And I couldn't figure it out. And I was trying so hard. I was like, why? Like, they smell good, but like there's plenty of things that smell good that you don't like eat, like candles and shit. Like, what? Why? And that's my rant about that.
Oh, you don't know? Okay,
It's everyone trying to make Darwin laugh in his grave.
Apparently.
I think it's like, isn't it like gummy bears and snacks and little things like that are like that size? Some of them.
Well, the Tide Pods are, hold on. Like that big.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're a decent size.
Okay.
So they're bigger than like most candy,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Well, the kids kids in general
freaking
like putting
crazy.
things in their mouths. So it might be a parental thing, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not going to touch on the parent
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
I am not
Yeah.
a parent. I'm not going to touch on that.
We're all done with that conversation here.
Yep. So anyway,
Back to Blade Runner.
yeah. Do you have any TV shows that you like watching?
I've just finished up Dark on Netflix.
Dark. Yeah.
It's German series. I've noticed that for Netflix originals, the foreign series tend to be a lot better than the U.S. series.
Really?
And
Yeah.
it just
Black
it's
Mirror is an
strange.
instance, for instance.
Black Mirror, Perfume, which is another German series I just watched, and it's a strange little thing I've just noticed. I'm just like, I'll just stick to the foreign stuff on Netflix for
Yeah.
originals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's I think there's a lot of more original content outside the United States and Canada sometimes. Depends. But, I've noticed that with a lot of, well, I guess it really depends where the money comes from, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, what was it, 10 years ago it was India, now it's China, and who knows where it's going to go next. But, it depends on what culture is really supporting the art internationally, and actually investing into it, which is hard. You don't get a lot of that in the U.S.
Yeah, it's there's very few newer cable TV series that I've really liked. Like Hannibal has been one where the writing is just
Ooh, yeah.
amazing on it, and just the careful detail to language and subtlety has been great.
Mm-hmm. And the use of the actors too, because Mads Mikkelsen, I think he's European. I can't remember which. Is it Danish or something?
I think he's Danish. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. He knows 7 languages and just.
Yeah, I saw him in Salvation, so it was midnight screening in Cannes. It was just oh my god, that's Mads Mikkelsen. That was Hannibal. So,
All right. Well, we are just about done. So only one last question. What do you want people to remember most about you?
Oh God.
wow, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh God.
I don't even know. Just to make things fun, and I tried to make things fun, and if I failed,
All right, there you have it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for having me
on
and
the
tolerating
show.
me.
It was wonderful. And we will see you all in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Adios.